It's this one. Will allow me go. Is she rooted in American founding Puritanism? I think there's a lot of things that it has to do with, and it's not like any one thing. But I think for somebody like me who grew up, where the hell do I... Are they right here? Like, that's not where they are, right? What the fuck are they? Red Quest on the map? Oh, I see it now. Okay. Why is this locked? So anyway, like for me, like whenever I hear stuff like that or anything like that's going on, it just automatically annoys me because I just don't want to have, like I resent having like what I'm doing and like my type of my entertainment being it's being curtailed and controlled by people who are like, they're basically, I think a lot of the, and I've said this before, censored, yeah, having stuff censored for no reason. Like I said this got me kind of, people got upset about it, but I think that one of the big reasons why you see a lot of the frustration about, you know, like females and like skimpy clothes and stuff like that is, it's like insecure people. It's like men that feel insecure about it because those are the girls that wouldn't pay attention to them, and then women that feel insecure about it because they don't like the way their body looks. And I don't think that you should cater to that kind of stuff. I think that people should be proud of how they look. It's the same as like there's often times where like women that have like any sort of like big boobs or that are like more full figured in general, they're just they're removed from games or nerfed in some way or another. And I think that the reason for that is because it's just insecure women. That's really the truth. And I think it's stupid. I'll be honest. And I don't think it really should be taken that seriously. Because like if you design a game to accommodate for every single person's mental illness and insecurity, just don't play it. Just don't make a game. Talk sense into an emotional topic. The thing is, that's the problem, right? Is that people's emotions should not dictate what happens all the time. Like, just because somebody is emotional about something doesn't mean that they're right, and it doesn't mean that they should be accommodated. Why are they insecure? Does men judge them more because they don't like their ideals? Yeah, they're insecure because they're overweight and ugly, in many cases. And that's just the way it is. Removing characters out of video games because of that is not going to do anything. Doesn't solve the problem. Cage keys. Disorder or not, going to the gym is going to help you physically and mentally. I mean, I can see like people thinking that like some of the characters in like some games are just like overly sexual, right? Like all of the characters are just completely like porn stars or something like that, and they look like porn stars with like massive ass fucking huge titties, etc. Like I can get that, yeah, sure. But like a game like Final Fantasy, like none of the proportions or of any of these characters or players is not something that you don't see in real life, you know, in terms of like the actual humanoid characters. Like these are just real things. And like obviously like the Lalafels and like the cat races that are not like humanoid, so it's not the same thing. Where's him compared to IRL stuff? Well, what yeah, that's what I mean, is like, so anytime that like, I feel like whenever things are changed because of like modern day sensitivities, I feel like I'm no longer playing a fantasy game. Like now I'm playing a game that's built around somebody's insecurities. You know, this is no longer a fantasy game. I'm not in a fantasy universe or anything like that. I'm now in an environment that's used to spread some sort of message that the developers feel is important for people to know. Slider is the best way to go about it. Yeah. People never enjoy being lectured by corporations about life issues. No, why would they? I especially dislike it, especially whenever it's a corporation like Blizzard. So yeah, I find it especially annoying. Just like that, get our attention. Structured by woke standards. Desexualizing is the same ideology. When should be looked at? Sexually idle. I don't know, I can't read that. It's just a lot of messages. What do I have to do? Retrieve ritual artifacts. Is that a ritual artifact? I have no idea. But yeah, just overall, whenever I see a company or a developer or anything like that using a video game to promote like some sort of real life opinion they have about like, you know, like modern day social issues, etc. I always just roll my eyes. It's just very annoying to me. I'm just gonna take this off and complete this. I'll figure out the other ones after this. The writer of the KOTOR remake? I don't really think that's as big of a deal as people make it out to be. I mean, they're just remaking the game. Video games have always done that, same with any form of art. It's not really true. Like, I think that many games don't really reinforce any sort of real political opinion or anything like that. Where is it? Oh, there we go. Oh, okay, so I can't get that now. I didn't really understand it. You could have a message sort. Problem for me is they focus too much on, ignore the basis of making a good game. I just don't like to have, I don't like to be patronized by a video game and by some developer that probably is some fucking, like, sexual deviant themselves about, like, what they believe to be the right thing to do. Like, I'm not going to be patronized by a developer of a video game. It's the same as, like, movies and stuff like that. Like, it's nothing, like, video games aren't special, right? It's just anything like that. Where sexual deviant come from? Just on average. People wanting remakes or remaster? I don't mind remakes or remasters, honestly. I don't think I'm gonna get this one in time. That's too bad. I'll have to try that again. This one's annoying. Final Fantasy touched immigration, refugees, wealth inequality, faction, church dogma, all confined to story of Final Fantasy. Well, the reason why Final Fantasy can do it and people don't get annoyed by it is because it's not done, like, it's done as the game is being made. It's not like this weird correction that's being made or something like that. And also, like, another thing is that you don't see, like, a lot of the Final Fantasy developers spamming Twitter about, like, their political opinions on who you should vote for in the California recall. So it's like, it's a lot different because you're not seeing those people who are making the comments directly. You know, and like, you have a much greater, like, assumption that this is being made with the intent of, like, creative integrity rather than a real life political message that they want the game to be a vehicle for. Would be weird seeing Japan tweet about American politics. Well, I think that there's a lot of people that tweet about, like, different political issues all over the world. I mean, obviously, like, the language barrier does make it removed. You're definitely right about that. But, I mean, I'm talking about, like, the way that people perceive it here in America. Did retool KOTOR for modern times? I don't know. If the game sucks, then just don't buy it. I think it's actually pretty simple. The reason why they keep hiring people like this that actively dislike gamers and, you know, like, strawman gamers and say, like, oh, well, you know, well, gamers didn't like this, and, you know, create, like, this boogeyman whenever people dislike their content. The reason why they keep hiring people like that is because people keep buying the games. I've always been, like, a pretty firm believer that... Let me make sure that I'm going to the right place. Give me a second. Yeah, it's right here. A pretty firm believer that none of these companies care about any of this stuff at all. And if it was popular to promote white power, they'd be doing it. Like, if they thought they could make more money doing that than promoting diversity, they would do it. I have zero faith or anything like that in these companies. I think that they're just using social issues to market themselves to young people who are more socially aware. And I think it's just a transparent ploy to sell more products. Definitely true. Yeah, well, that's because that's what used to happen. Like, they used to literally do that. I don't know how I completed that. Coke ads are in World War II? Yeah, different stuff like that. Go get rid of those. And also I think that the other reason why people are okay with Final Fantasy addressing those issues is that they don't address the issues in like this weird cartoon villain way. Like I think like Ilberd is a good example of this, right? Like Ilberd is clearly like a villain and he's clearly like a nationalist. But Ilberd is not like just this 100% evil person. Like he's a he has like his own motives. He's a compelling villain. He's not just this like one-dimensional stereotype that you're just programmed to dislike and there's nothing good about them at all. You know, he has character depth or whatever. Well-intentioned extremist. In a way, yeah. And I think that's more realistic and I think it's more respectable for a lot of people. Not Sylvanas for damn sure. Yeah, exactly. He isn't caricature for a dumb nationalist? No, but he is absolutely a nationalist, right? I mean, are we going to disagree about that? I feel like it's just so obvious that Ilberd is like a super hyper nationalist. Like if Ilberd lived in Afghanistan, he'd be in the Taliban. That's just the truth. Yeah. We're done with that. And I guess now I want to do the Dravinia quests. Remember, dislike make it sound like the entire generation has been brainwashed or indoctrinated? No, but whenever you, like, there are different ways that, like, you can introduce a character into a story that makes them more and less likable. Where should I be going to unlock flying here? Because I have all of the points. Where do I want to go to unlock flying? Blue quests. So like this one here. Okay, let me actually do this too before I forget. There's 2 in Ildishire too as well. I wish I just knew. Some of the blue quests give you flight progress. If there's somebody who can help me do this, like, I'll do it. Is Ilberd more like a Black Panther's villain? Like, I like, the thing is, like, you can say, like, whichever, like, we clearly get the point, you know what I'm saying? Like, like, whether it's Black Panthers, Antifa, fucking, like, the Civil War, like, the Taliban, you know, like, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Like, he's clearly, like, a very, very motivated, you know, like, idealist who's willing to do anything to get what he wants, right? So is this one of them? No? Okay, it's for Alexander, okay. I don't know how to stop that yet. I'm just gonna give this to her now. Oh shit, I didn't mean to start a cinematic. I didn't know this would happen. It's on her hands, piece of enigma, bursts forth, unbidden by brilliant flash of light. Self-included, without her betraying a head secret contained within. Don't you find that strange? I'm surprised. Codex subjected by an arcane mechanism. See, only those who share its fundamental principles are able to view its contents. The Ravnox possess such qualities, unexpected blessing, to be sure, but if the Illuminati were to learn a secret, it should be placed in grave danger. Even as we speak, they scour the hinterlands, search for their elusive missing piece. Collector of misplaced items. Must draw their attention away from the Big West shortstop. Oh, so Round Rocks is the only person who can read it because of some like reason. Okay, that's cool. As I thought, I am no longer worthy. Much urgency. Oh, thanks, man. What's this? Construct 6S core. Let me see what this mount is first. Oh, this is really cool. Thanks, man. You can invite Jason too. This is awesome. Thanks a lot. Yeah, Domina, if you want to invite them. Oh, she's got that one too. Yeah, thank you. Ebb and Aether Flow in Ildishire. Okay. There it is. Oh, it tells me right there, okay. Illuminati pots. Okay, I have to go over there. Oh, wow. So I have to do 5 quests in each area? There's a lot to do. That's a lot. Damn. So yeah, I just like, I guess I'm still like kind of annoyed by the whole thing with like Blizzard changing stuff, and I think that like, you know what it's like Uh, I'm trying to think of like a way to put it, but it's kind of like guys that, it's like you tell a guy, it's like, don't sniff a girl's chair after she gets up out of it. And he's like, well, okay, well, I guess I just can't talk to women. That's the way it feels to me, right? It's exactly like that. Yeah, because like they can't manage to perceive sexuality in any way that's not this like creepy weird thing. Get your point, but you had to go there. I mean, do you really think that Blizzard devs didn't do that to their female employees? I not only would I bet that happened, or do I think that happened, I would bet that happened. 100% it did. Employees now are hopefully better though. Yeah. Is this it? I don't think that one was it. I think that's the, take the TP, okay. It's still Alexander, yeah. Okay, that's not it. Louder than words. Oh, I have to turn this on. Of course. Okay. I'm not seeing one that's called louder than words. Gotta go over there. Blizzard just got hit with another lawsuit. I'll look at all that stuff tomorrow. Yeah, don't worry about it. Final Fantasy looks like a browser game. I don't think it does. I enjoy this game a lot. I think it's a really fun game. Like I play it a lot, even like off stream and everything too. Like past few days I haven't really, because I've just been kind of just like doing other stuff, but as a general rule, yeah, I do very often. Wait, that's it? Oh no, it's over there. Okay. Browser games can be surprisingly good. Yeah, I think so too. Explores all sides of the story so it's not patronizing. Yeah, exactly. Probably best room at the moment right now. I think that Final Fantasy has a lot of positives. It's a fun game. I enjoy it a lot. I think the main thing that I enjoy about the game is that I can I just get to I get to play it with other people. And I feel like in WoW it doesn't really it's harder to do that. I consider trying fishing. Yeah, I want to try one of those deep sea fishing things. I think that could be really cool. Matoya's Cave. Okay. You trying UCOB as soon as you finish Stormblood? Probably. I want to finish all the MSQ before I do an ultimate. Even Shadowbringers? I mean, am I gonna tank UCOB? Yeah, I'm gonna tank all of them. It's not that hard, it's just a video game. Jump King. Well, I could have beaten Jump King if I had spent enough time on it. I just didn't really think that it was like that entertaining to me for as a viewer. Right, it's like if I was watching a viewer or if I was watching a streamer do that, I would just be bored. Like that's kind of the way I feel, but it gets old fast. Yeah, exactly. So like Matoya will have my hide. Oh shit. Near that. Wow. Additional properties. Get rid of pests are too much for one Porgo to handle. Grateful if you eliminate them in my stead. Ribbon. Okay, we've got to kill something. Jump King's actually good for talking streams like this one. I think Jump King is great for streams that are just like really just kind of like really relaxed and like aren't really like, they're more gameplay based streams. Like I don't really have a very gameplay based stream, and because of that it's kind of different. Okay. Reactions more entertaining than the gameplay. Yeah, and it's like I don't really know. You guys are weird audience, so what's the laugh about pain and misery as a streamer? Well, I mean, like that's clearly what you're signing up for, right? Is like you're signing up to have that kind of like, you know, that kind of relationship with the viewer, and it's like that's fine to do sometimes. Like I don't think it's a problem to do sometimes. The problem is like whenever that's like the core content, you know what I mean? Getting over to co-op, yeah, it's funny to watch somebody play it sometimes, but like everybody approaches things like that differently. For me, I have like a very, very short fuse in terms of dealing with like frustration. Like my frustration tolerance is like super, super, super low. And so like as soon as I get frustrated and annoyed, I'm just kind of like turned off, and I don't want to I don't want to do anything anymore. You know, I don't want to do it anymore. Short fuses to make for the best reactions? Well, nah, not really. Tom, I'll follow you. Where do I need to go? Turning quest outside? I don't think so. Oh, louder than words. Yep, there it is. Okay. Unlocking optional dungeons for each expansion. At some point I will. I ran into watching people rage for a whole stream. It's a popular thing. No, I think it's fine. You know, pretty lengthy streams to try and bosses, mundane grinds. What makes Jump King different? Because I'm not focused on the grinds. I'm focused on interacting with the chat. So, like, for example, like you're focused on like a different thing. Can I? Yay! Wow! Thank you guys. Thank you. I can fly. I just want to fly over here. Fuck yeah, dude. Okay, I can't do that. So can I get off my mount here? No, I can't. Launching as a streamer, but I can't understand how it can go from WoW to Final Fantasy 14. It's easy, honestly. I think that there are a lot of WoW players that are put off by some of the quirks of Final Fantasy 14, like the cat girl stuff, or like people don't like it doesn't have damage meters, etc. I think people kind of interpret that as being the being a problem with the game or being bad or whatever. But I just like the high fantasy, just like in WoW too. Oh, WoW has always had high fantasy, right? I mean, like low fantasy is like Conan the Barbarian. Like high fantasy is Lord of the Rings, and WoW has always been on Lord of the Rings level. Story's the biggest barrier. I mean, not really. I mean, you just skip the story if you want, and you don't have to pay attention or read the story at all. The reason why I like Final Fantasy and the reason why I enjoy the game, I'm just gonna randomly just go and kill some of these mobs because I need to kill them for the achievement. Lead group. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. I don't know if it's gonna mess it up if I do that. Let me just kill these mobs. So that's kind of like, that's what made it easier for me to like just enjoy the game, you know? Yeah, I'm just trying to get McChicken experience. People call it Zackrawrr syndrome. I don't think there's like any syndrome or anything like that. I think there's a lot of people also who, and this is kind of how I felt too, is it's like it really sucks to go from like a game that you've invested so much time into, and you're doing that, and like now you're moving into this new game, and like the new game is not the same as the old game, and it just sucks, right? Because you've spent so much time invested in this and everything, and like now you what do you call it? Now you have to change. Sunk cost. Well, it's the sunk cost is like, it has a negative connotation, but a lot of people are just, I mean, they're just emotionally invested, right? That's really all it comes down to. They're just emotionally invested in the game, and and they don't want to leave or whatever. I can understand that. Does it, if I join this group, won't that mess up my my progression? Yeah, I don't know, cause like McChicken might not get experience. Yeah, try and kill that and we'll see. Yep. Yeah, I can't do it in a group. It's good to know that. I wasn't sure. Thank you for trying to help me though, guys. Man, there's a lot of those mobs. It's not the group problem, it's their level. Yeah, it probably is. You're right about that. That's what I would assume too. But yeah, anyway, fate mobs count. I didn't know that. But yeah, like, to me, I was very worried to, like, stop playing WoW and everything because, like, as I said, I mean, I've just played WoW for so long, and to not play the game and to move and, like, play a new game, especially with, like, how much time I invested, everything like that, into WoW, like, it was just, it was a lot, man, it really was. So how's this working? Challenge log, battles. Okay, I'm doing pretty well. Alright, so I did complete that. That's good. I'll do the rest of it later. I want to do the gate that's going to happen. Blizzard's fault, not yours. They just have to make the game better. Did you know anyone in Aftermath server back in 2012? Yeah, Desire, I think John D, we recruited him, stole him out of the guild. Clinge, the paladin, I remember Clinge, he was really fucking good. I actually have a picture from Aftermath. Let me see if I can find it. Oh no. I don't think I have it. I'm gonna look at my other computer. Give me just 1 second, guys. It's a meme I made about Aftermath being a shitty guild. Fuck. See if I can find it on my other PC. I'm just gonna look real quick. Leap of faith, I've got time. Where the hell is Aftermath Goes to BlizzCon? Fuck. I found it. Okay, who can I send this to? On Twitter. I'm gonna send it to Rich. Okay, I can show it this way. So you guys wanted to, that guy wanted to know if I remember Aftermath, the guild from Kel'Thuzad. This is a meme I made about Kel'Thuzad Aftermath back in 2012. I said instead of being the gold standard, they were the brown standard of guild. Where whenever whenever Aftermath killed a boss, you knew it was easy. It's like if they can do it, bro, anybody can figure that shit out. How long have memes existed? Ever since 1979, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. There's a book written by fucking Richard Dawkins called The Selfish Gene, and he was the person who thought of that name. Were you raised Catholic? Yes, I was. I went to communion and mass every Sunday. Went to catechism, like all that stuff. Oh yeah. Sorry for your guilt? Wait, why would I be... I feel like I've like never been guilty of anything in my life. I've never felt guilty about anything in my life. I just never have. Like, why would I feel like... It's like if I fuck somebody over, fuck them. Never hurt your parents' feelings? No, not really. I'm not the kind of person that says things I don't mean. Like, I've never yelled at another person before. Like, in my whole life, I've never yelled at another human being. Like, I mean, like, I'll do it on my stream, right? For sure. Or, like, for a fact. But I've never yelled at another person. Kind of sociopathic. Well, then I'm glad to be a sociopath because I don't like yelling at people. If somebody ever yells at me, I want to get away from them. There's other nonsense. I never really believed it, to be honest with you. Like, as soon as they told me the guy lived in a fish, I'm like, I've never seen that happen. Like, yeah, right. This is fucking stupid. Like, there's no way. Like, how's he gonna breathe? It was how? It was like, this is just fucking dumb. Like, why would I... Like, well, you have to have faith. It's like, why would I... Wait, what do you mean have faith? Like, let me just believe this for no reason? Like, it's dumb. Yelling is a normal and good thing. Yeah. Like, if I'm ever around somebody that, like, raises their voice at me, I just want to get away from them. Like, I live a pretty tranquil life and a very relaxed life around people that can control themselves. And I look at self-control as that is like the apex, the ability to have, like, I guess, metacognition, right? To be able to know that you exist and think about thinking, right? To have, like, that awareness of existence and to be able to control yourself. Like, this is the core of what makes a human being different from, like, an animal. And if you're yelling because you can't control yourself and you can't control your emotions, you are now closer to an animal. And I don't want to be around animals. Called mental illness. I don't want other people's mental illness to ruin my life. Like, just because somebody has a mental illness doesn't mean that they have immunity from criticism for inflicting it on other people. Like, whenever your mental illness affects other people negatively, you're at fault. I don't care what your problems are. If you inflict those on other people, it's your responsibility. Like, there's some people that are just, like, genuinely, like, you know, like, actually, like, nutso, like, completely fucked in the head. They have, like, a Down syndrome or something, right? It's completely different. But if you're talking about, like, just a, you know, I'm in a bad mood, or I can get mad easily or something like that, like, no, I will not tolerate that. Is about the whole Arcadum thing? No, I don't care about him. It doesn't matter. Honestly, I'm like, the silver lining in him getting exposed like that is the fact that I don't have to fucking hear about how great of a DM he is whenever I talk about Riku. It just was so obnoxious. People say I'm autistic, I have some mental illness, use that excuse to be complete sociopathic psychos. Yeah. As I said, like, if somebody, like, I think that, like, you are, like, it's understandable if somebody with, like, a mental illness or something like that has, like, you know, they have moments. But I think that you shouldn't you should never really feel bad if you feel like because of that person's mental illness, you don't want that person in your life. I think that's a completely reasonable thing to deal with and to think. Riku got exposed? Riku didn't get exposed for anything because he's a nice, good guy. What'd you do if you couldn't get that person out of your life? Mitigate the effect that their actions have on your life. Whether that is trying to deal with them in a better way, trying to help the person, or trying to spend less time with them. You know, like that's why. It's pretty simple. Yeah, Rampart. Yeah, there you go. There's Rampart. Most people have sociopathic tendencies. I think almost everybody has some degree of sociopathic tendencies. Because, like, there's... The thing is, like, being a sociopath is, like... A lot of people say, like, well, cats have ears and you have ears, so you're a cat. Well, no. Well, like, oh, well, cats have whiskers and, you know, this animal has whiskers, so it's a cat. Well, no. There's, like, a number of things that have to kind of come together simultaneously in order for something to be diagnosed. So, like, there has to be, like, multiple points of, like, reference and not just, like, one thing. Verbose way of saying spectrum. Well, no, because like spectrum implies that all of the people, like for example, like anybody, like people, I think if you were on like the autism spectrum, you're still autistic, right? But I think being a sociopath, or like, I think there's even people that have like some psychopathic tendencies that aren't necessarily psychopaths. It's just a tendency that some people have, right? I think like an example of that is like intrusive thoughts. Like, almost everybody has that. And that's definitely a psychopathic tendency. It doesn't mean you're a psychopath. Different levels of psychosis. Yeah, yeah. Borderline personality disorder. I remember I had a girlfriend that diagnosed herself with borderline personality disorder. And I thought she meant bipolar disorder. And I was like, yeah, I think you have that. I really do, because she said I have BPD, and I'm like, yeah, I really, honestly, I think you have that. I think you hit the nail on the head. And like the funny thing is, like, she explained it later on, and I actually completely fucking dodged the bullet. Like she never found out that I thought that she was bipolar. Yeah, never found out about it. Yeah, BPD, like bipolar disorder. I'm like, oh, okay. First thought doesn't define you. Yeah, I mean, sure. Roll a 20 to get out of that one. Yeah, true. Self-diagnosis is cringe. I don't think that, like, it... Like, sometimes, yeah. I don't think it always is, but in a lot of ways, probably, yeah. People want to do special battling? Yeah. Like, I don't really think it's like that big of a of an issue or whatever. But also like, yeah, I don't need to seek help. I have this issue anyway. Well, I think people, like, self-diagnosis is usually the first step towards seeking help or something like that. At least I would assume so. Yeah, I'd assume so. People define themselves as their illness. Yeah, they use like mental illnesses as like a personality attribute. No, I find that really weird too. I think there's a lot of people who they want to be special and they want to feel like they're like special in one way or another, and I think they use that as a way to like differentiate themselves and be special. Sad because no one's special? I mean, everybody's special in their own way. But I mean, you're definitely right. I mean, there's some people that are, you know, a little bit more unique than others. Hopefully I win this one. How do you get feathers in Valheim? Just shoot birds. Each bird drops like, what, 4 feathers, right? I don't really remember. You'll say OCD? Yeah. OCD is definitely one of those things that people people think they have OCD because they are they like to keep things clean or something like that. Nice. Easy. Damn, like look at all those that I got. 5,000, 10,000, 5,000. Oh my god. I'm stacking money. Alright, I'm gonna do one more, then I gotta go to bed. Actually, which one is it? This one again. Alright. Yeah, I'll go to bed. But yeah, that's kind of the way I see it. And the way I look at it is that there's a lot of people like that. Like I see a lot of people out there who really, dude. Like I was just looking at my my tweets. Ugly duckling. I'm not an ugly duckling. What do you mean? I want that. No. Choose the thoughts, worst part of OCD. Yeah, I don't really have OCD or any of that stuff, so it's hard for me to understand. I like how a lot of the people that are like defending the changes that Blizzard is making, I like how a lot of them, they're like, oh, it's not a big deal or whatever. It's like, if it's not a big deal, then why they care? You know what I mean? People are defending it, yeah. Well, what they do is they straw man this thing is like, they'll straw man it where it's like, well, gamers think this because gamers are like racist and they hate women and stuff like this. And it's like, actually, like, it's not really true. Like, there's some gamers that are like that for sure. I think that, like, you'll see this in, like, in my opinion, I think that you'll see that type of tendency in, like, every single, like, male-dominated place is, like, you're gonna see, you know, guys who are, to some degree, like, misogynistic, right? They don't like women, or they resent women for whatever reason. But the truth is, like, there's a lot of women in, like, female spaces that are the exact same. Damn, I'm surprised I didn't fall off there. Depends on country, Western world's going insane. I think the problem is, as I said, it's like guys that, it's a combination of, I think it's like insecure women who don't like seeing characters like that because of their own personal problems. And then I think it's like guys that like try to overcorrect because they don't know how to be acceptably sexual without being creepy and weird. Like it's basically like 0 or 60. There's no 35 miles an hour and everything's fine. Step 1, be attractive. No, I know a lot of people say that, and I think that being attractive does help out a lot. Like, you're definitely right. But, thanks. I think that if you approach somebody and you're respectful, you're almost always going to get a good response. A lot of incels in your community, harass your girlfriend horrible way for months. I'd say misogyny is very real in the gaming community. I think that's the same everywhere online. Like, that's the same, like, the truth is, like, the reason why they harassed, like, the last girlfriend I had, Izzy, is because they just didn't like, there's a lot of reasons, right? I think that one of them was because they didn't like her. They didn't like her content that she did on Twitch, because she would like stream with like low cut t-shirts, etc. Also, I think they didn't like it because they viewed there to be like a difference between, like, they thought that she was like way more attractive comparatively than I am. So they thought that she was with me for some ulterior motive or something like that. And so I think also, yeah, money or whatever. And like, the reason why guys say that is because if the girl is with the other guy for money, then the guy doesn't have to confront the fact that the reason why he doesn't have a girl that looks like that himself is because of maybe his personality. Because if he says it's just because of money, then he's effectively like removed his own responsibility from having this happen. But if he says it's like money or something else that he can't control, now it's somebody else's fault. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's really kind of why. You're satisfied with her mind? You know, Izzy spoke like 5 languages and she had a college degree and she was a teacher, right? Like, English isn't even her first language. Like, she's not stupid at all. Yeah, she wasn't stupid in any way. What was her first language? Swedish. Think you'll get back together? No. Is it Polish or first? Maybe it is. I don't know. I thought it was Swedish. It could be either Swedish or Polish. She's like half Swedish, half Polish, I'm pretty sure. No, not pretty sure. That's what she is. But, yeah. I thought she was a native English speaker. No, she's not. I mean, and that's the whole point, right? Is like she's not stupid. She's not stupid. Oh, your ex got traded by your followers? Are you concerned for any future girls suffering the same fate? No, I'm not concerned about that at all. Anybody who says anything negative or weird about any of the girls that I interact with on my stream, I'll just immediately permaban them from everywhere on the community, and that's it. It's over. It's just like an immediate yeet and delete. Problem solved. Show blatant disrespect. No, it's people are mad about the fact that, like, as I said, it's just like the whole thing. Like, this is what I said about like Twitch culture. How like Twitch culture is like it's like bad. Like, one of the ways that it is bad is like how it treats women. Like, just in general, I think Twitch in general treats women very badly. And I think like Twitch culture is not, it's not good. Like, Twitch culture is like overall just like kind of shitty. So it's improved since 2016? Twitch culture has? I don't know. It's pretty much just, it's the same people, really. Men who grew up with that father figure were neglected, and men who were creepy and awkward with women. I don't know. I think it's like a personal thing. Like, it's always like the difference between like nature versus nurture, where it's like, you know, which came first. Bad thing happened to women in Twitch conferences. Well, that happens in like all conferences. Like, I mean, the Blizzard conf. Like, the thing is, like, this is just an unfortunate reality of people. Is like, just in the spectrum of human behavior, there's a lot of people on that spectrum who are willing to do things that are invasive to people's privacy. Twitch, Twitter, and Reddit, pretty bad to be honest. Generally lacking social experience. Well, they're bad because the reason why they're bad is because anybody can talk. Anybody can say whatever they want. So there's no like the average person is like, it's the George Carlin quote, right? Think of the average person and then realize half of them are dumber than that. So it's not really a surprise. I don't want to interrupt. Much potato. There's Asmongold, LMAO. Oh my god. Internalized misogyny. I think internalized misogyny is like one of those things that you can say in order to basically... I think that's just like, it's just basically bullshit, to be honest with you. I think it's just bullshit. It's one of those things where it's like, I'm not going to address your point because I have categorically put your point in this group of things that are just wrong. It's a way to silence women. Yeah, exactly. I don't agree with that at all. It's so cozy. Yeah, it is. It's very cozy. Do you think Blizzard will remove Succubus? It's 50-50. It's because you can't argue against them. Against it, therefore you think it's wrong. Well, yeah, you can't argue against something because it's like the thing itself, like you no longer discuss the thing itself because you just create a category for that thing to exist into, and the category is wrong. Does that make sense? Nothing wrong with hypersexualized female characters, but if every female character is this way and males are not, well, no, I think that you're right. I mean, like, and the reason why Final Fantasy can do it and there's no criticism for it is because it's like anything goes. Like, you just do whatever you want. Like, there's sexualized male characters, female characters, it's whatever. That's the big reason why. Is there's no like double standard. And then also, like, another reason why people are okay with it is that whenever Blizzard, remember whenever Blizzard made that comment to that woman who was like, oh, well, you shouldn't have characters in, like, skimpy armor, and then they laughed at her, and that was it? Do you guys remember that? Yeah. Well, anyway, people were mad about that, but there's nothing that they can really do about it. Because, like, the devs don't care. You see what I'm saying? So, like, if the Final Fantasy devs just don't care what people think. Like, it just doesn't matter to them. So it's like someone gets mad about, like, a female character with, like, skimpy armor, and they just don't care. It doesn't matter to them. So that kind of stuff and like that kind of social pressure only works if you care about it. And if you don't care about it, then it doesn't matter. Jaina cleavage fix was downfall? Nah, that was just for China. Well, they don't have to worry about that anymore. Turn a tie with hypersexualized women in games and media. Happy medium or something. Turning a tie with hypersexualized women in games and media. I don't think there's anything really wrong with having a character like, so the problem with a lot of it is like, I think a lot of people are kind of afraid to say that they just like they like seeing characters in bikini chainmail and they think that's really hot and they want to see games like that. And that's it. That's literally all there is to it. And it doesn't really like that. There's no way you can really do anything about that. Because like if you just like, and that's why it's not bad for that either. Like there's nothing that's like inherently bad about that. And that's what I was saying before about how like the Western view of, you know, like women give sex and men take it. It's bad because it's looked at through the lens of that, where it's men taking, you know, this thing from women, which even though it's like a cartoon thing or whatever, it's still perceived that way. Sexualation's wrong in League, where the champion's supposed to be very powerful beings. No, I don't think that matters at all. Look at like Aphrodite. She's a Greek goddess. I mean, that's a tale as old as time. It's an Anglo thing, not a Western thing. It's hard to say, man. But all I know is that it's a thing. Do black type women don't like sexy characters either? Yeah. And I think that's like another, it's another unhealthy, I think like false dichotomy that people create, is that women don't like characters like that either. There are a lot of, there's a lot of women who are, who like playing sexy characters and like looking sexy. It's the same as whenever I play my warrior. Like, I want my warrior to be like this big badass buff cool guy. Like, I don't want him to look like I do in real life. Play idealized versions of myself in RPGs and MMOs. Yeah, I kind of do the same thing, man. But does it have to be everywhere, though? I think that if people want it somewhere, I think it's okay. And I think the problem really is that whenever people take, I think the thing with WoW, like if WoW had come out and it had as many, you know, like whatever people want to call it, like puritanical changes as possible, I think people wouldn't really even care. It wouldn't matter, right? Because it's the same thing. Like they wouldn't know any difference. But it's like changing the thing to make it something different is very different than releasing something originally. It's like you're clearly saying that like what we previously had was the implication of changing something is that the former version was inappropriate. And I disagree with that because I think that being sexy is not bad. And I think that women want to do that too. And the implication is that this is some sort of withdrawal from women, or this is some sort of imposition on women that people do this. And I don't think that's true. It's woke culture being put in a video game. Isn't fun being told what the right opinion is? Yeah, exactly. Depends on the content of what's being changed. What society views as right and wrong can change. Yeah, I know. I don't really agree with what society views as right and wrong. I think society is, for the most part, stupid. And I think that if you're, like, I don't really care, like, what society's opinions are. If they're stupid, then I just don't take it seriously. It's the same as like back whenever I was younger. People said like staying at home, playing video games all day, doing whatever you want, stupid. I'm like, fuck you, I'm gonna do what I want. People said a million things that I do were stupid. So brave. I'd rather think for myself than have a bunch of people who just are like mindless consumers to dictate what I think. Yeah, it's mob mentality. Yeah, exactly. Why do you think you went your own way? It's no reason really. I mean, like, I just I think it's because like a lot of it's because of like my dad. My dad's a lot the same way. And I remember my dad telling me that whenever I was a kid, he's like, you know, all the rules in life are made up. Do whatever you want and take whatever you can, because if you don't do it, somebody else will. My dad only told me the first part. Yeah. And so yeah, my dad taught me I'm trying to think of like a way to put it. That's true, as long as it's not crossing moral lines. To me, I don't really, moral lines don't exist. As long as I want to, if I want to do something, I'll just do it. And if it's beneficial for me, I'll just do it. It doesn't really matter about like morality or anything like that. It's whatever. The way I look at it is like I did not choose to exist. There's no one that I'm really accountable to other than myself. And I've never found like the right way to describe how I feel about it. Yeah, it's hard to say. It's actually pretty self-centered. Oh, it absolutely is. My life is completely about me. You're completely right. I'm the main character in my life. The things that other people want are not as important as the things that I want. For my mom and dad, it's different. Family, it's different. Friends, it's different. But if you're not part of that circle, it's what it might as well be an NPC to me. That's the truth. I always try to, I try to not be like, I try not to fuck other people over unless I get, unless I'm getting something out of it, right? Like, I'm not gonna fuck somebody over unless there's a good reason for it. Because I don't think that's a good idea either. What would be a good reason? I don't know, if I want something. It's pretty simple. You know, that's about it. Yeah. It's not fucking somebody over for the sake of being a fair person. Yeah, I don't really care about that. Yeah, it's not really a factor to me. I have to go to bed. It's like 6 a.m. or not 6 a.m. It's 3 a.m. I'll probably be back up. Well, I'm going to be. I'm going to stream. Like, I'm 100% going to stream. Yeah, I'll be back. Back very, very soon, boys. Peace.